Hey everyone, we want to welcome you to our LinkedIn Live today. We're so honored to have our special guest, Jennifer Conner, who is a realtor with Atlanta Communities, will be speaking with us today. And I'm going to be filling in for our lead trainer, Sandi Donaldson. She could not be conducting our interview today. Just a reminder that this meeting is being recorded. This recording is the exclusive property of Real Estate Closing Path. All video files and commentary shared during this session belong to RECP and may be used in future trainings or marketing promotions. Our intention is to represent you and RECP in the very best light. And just an overview of who we are. If you're new to our organization, we are actually the third company in a suite of businesses owned by one woman, Marianne Harris. She started in the industry over 20 years ago and began Positively Balanced, which provides third-party escrow account reconciliation services. Then a few years ago, she opened Positively Closed, which provides remote closing support solutions. If your firm has unusually high volume, or maybe you're wanting to outsource the post-closing process, or maybe you have someone out on maternity leave and just need someone to step in and fill in the gaps for a season. Positively Closed can assist with that. And then Real Estate Closing Path is the third branch, and we're the educational arm of the companies, and we handle all training aspects of the closing process. And when we can help with job placement, we will. But a lot of our focus lately has been on some advanced training workshops. Again, if you have a new hire, or maybe someone's always done post-closing, but now they need to learn the pre-closing side, something like that. So we're here to stand in and help meet those needs. Just a reminder that you can follow us on all the different social media platforms, not only here on LinkedIn, but we post videos from time to time on TikTok, YouTube. We've got an Instagram following, etc. So please hang out with us there to find out what's new. And again, here's the list of the different training workshops that we do offer, and we can customize any particular training to fit your firm. And we can also provide a lunch and learn with any of these workshops if you wish. So definitely reach out to us if you're interested in that. And without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce our guest speaker today. Jennifer Conner is a licensed realtor with Atlanta Communities. She received her license in 2002 at the young age of 18 and has since worked in different fields within the real estate industry. She spent her early years working as a pre-closer and then a closer with some reputable Atlanta closing firms. The knowledge she learned working behind the scenes in these roles helped shape her into the educated realtor she is today. Selling real estate is her passion, and she brings this same passion when she's teaching her students the ins and outs of what she knows and what she does daily in her business. And again, welcome, Jennifer. It's an honor to have you today.
Hi.
All right, first question. Give us a little bit more details about your professional background.
Well, that introduction kind of touched on a lot of that, but I would say my background's pretty broad across the real estate industry. As a young licensed realtor, that's been my primary goal throughout my career, is to just be successful at that. But along the journey of my career, I was able to learn a lot by working with a couple different closing firms. And that's only helped me become a better agent today for my clients.
Yeah, I bet. So starting at 18, what really pushed you in the real estate lane? Was that in your family, or were you just naturally drawn to it?
Yeah, I was naturally drawn to it. It was not in my family. My dad did work for a law firm, but it was not real estate law. And my parents just say I was kind of born with it. I remember as a child getting my dad's big yellow legal pads off his desk, and I'd sit in my bedroom and I would draw houses. And they initially thought maybe I'd be an architect, so maybe I let them down a little bit, but I have just always had a fascination with homes, and we kind of moved a lot as a kid, and maybe that was a factor in my interest. I don't
Mhm.
know, but yeah, it's just always been something I was interested in, and decided after high school that that was the path I was gonna
Yeah,
take.
that's great. So, and you started in that, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but you started in the closing and pre-closing and then gained your license, or the license came first?
The license came
Okay.
first. So I graduated high school in June of 2001. And by February of 2002, I'd completed the pre-license class. So I was a licensed realtor at that point. But at 18, none of my friends were buying houses yet. And none of my parents' friends trusted me enough yet
Okay.
to sell them a
Yeah.
house. So I had to figure out a way to really gain some experience and to learn just more about the process. So again, back to my dad, he kind of connected me with a real estate attorney that he somehow had a connection with. I don't even remember exactly the connection, but he connected me with a real estate attorney who then hired me first as a receptionist, and then trained me on up. So I was
Yeah.
able to be with him for a couple years.
Yeah. So what was it like to switch sides, to go from being the realtor selling houses to now all of a sudden you're in that pre-closing chair behind the scenes in a firm? How was that
Yeah,
different?
I didn't have a whole lot of selling experience at that point. I worked in a back office. I was a licensed realtor, but I was not selling anything. So
Gotcha.
I don't know that I had enough knowledge at that point to really
Gotcha.
compare the two. So um yeah, I think just me going into that closing office was imperative to me, even knowing what I'm doing in
Yeah.
regards to being an agent. So
Right.
it was a great transition for me to
Yeah.
move into that role.
And how many years did you work in on kind of the behind the scenes in the closing chair, so to speak?
Yeah, I think it was almost 6 years
Wow.
with two different firms.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. Good. Good to know. What are some of the changes that you've seen in your career?
Well, 21 years is a long time to see lots of changes in our industry. Um, and changes can be from, what's selling and what's not, or what the market is doing, or areas that are changing.
Sure.
But
Sure.
when I first started, I was in Midtown Atlanta for the condo store, and their main focus was apartment to condo conversions. That was a
Mhm.
huge thing in the early 2000s in Atlanta. And then that kind of shifted into the refi boom
Mhm.
within the closing firms. The rates were really low. People were staying in their homes, but they were all refinancing to get the best rate. Then we saw obviously the market crash in 2007, 2008, and that led to REO sales,
Spivey Enterprise
foreclosures, and
LLC.
the short sales, and then the steady rise. For several years it was pretty peaceful until the COVID boom and the crazy increase in prices, and
Right.
now
Yeah.
we are at the dreaded high interest rate
Yes.
season.
Going back up, and who knows what the future holds. Do you have any insight about software? Like, did you see how software affected the whole closing process in your career? Any thoughts on that?
In both of my closing offices, we strictly used land tech. And that was the only experience that I had with software. So I don't have a lot of insight on that.
Mm, gotcha. I didn't know if when you were a closer, if the software had come around at that time, or if that was kind of
Mm,
after you kind of transitioned to be more the realtor.
yeah, I don't really remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. But I know it's been another significant change
It's
that I've
been a
been
while
thinking
since then.
about
Yeah,
over the years. Yeah. Do you think that having an understanding of the lending or closing process makes you a better realtor?
absolutely. I think being able to understand all the steps in the closing process is really vital to being able to provide the best customer service to my clients. Being able to explain what's going to happen next and who's going to be calling you and why and what they're going to ask you for. Just being able to kind of stay one step ahead of them throughout the whole process brings them peace of mind, and they're not concerned that someone they don't know is asking them for their social security number or it just kind of gives them that peace of mind that we have it under control, and being able to explain what's going to happen next.
That's so important. So a house purchase for most people is just something that happens maybe once in a lifetime, maybe 2 or 3 times, just whereas people who are in the industry are handling closings every day, several closings a month, etc. So yeah, the general public usually doesn't understand all that's going on behind the scenes to make that transaction happen. And so I really appreciate what you said, that knowledge, helps to put them at ease and to know what to expect and to be just hopefully more comfortable and confident with the whole closing process. So
yes, absolutely.
That's good insight. Good. So where do you see the industry headed in the near future?
Well, I think that's the question of the hour, isn't it? Everybody wants to know that, including myself.
Need a crystal ball.
Yeah. All I know is what the researchers are telling us, and they keep using the word stable going into 2024. It's going to be slow, but they're hopeful it will remain stable. They're not foreseeing any type of market crash or, I think that word gets thrown around quite a bit and people get nervous. Statistically, going into an election year, it slows down anyways. But eventually the rates are going to start to come down. And there are some lenders that I know that even have programs where they're offering a low cost or no cost refinance. If you go ahead and purchase now, then when the rates do come down, they will refinance it at a very minimal cost, just as an incentive to go ahead and buy now. The prices are going to continue to rise a little bit. I think they forecasted a 3.5% rise in prices into 2024. So the prices are still going to go up a little bit. So if you can purchase now at the price that you can get it at today, knowing you can refinance next year when the rates start to come down, hopefully that will help people relax a little bit and go ahead and make that jump.
Have a little confidence that they can always work with the numbers later, down the road if needed.
Yeah.
Good.
If you're waiting for the prices to come down, I think you've missed the boat.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Good to know. Good advice. How do you think closing firms and agents can best help one another? There's definitely a partnership dynamic in the industry.
Definitely. Yeah. I think understanding all aspects of our industry again is so imperative to helping me provide the best service to my client. The closing firm, we're their client a lot of times, the buyer and seller, the lender, we just all work together. So when we all can understand what the other parties are doing and why, it only helps everybody in the process, that everybody that's involved for a smooth closing. So 100%, I think that us understanding what everybody is doing and why is crucial.
That's great. Can you speak a little bit to how Real Estate Closing Path can help fulfill that need?
Yeah, I love what Real Estate Closing Path is doing to educate people in our industry. And maybe somebody watching this isn't familiar with what they're doing, but not only teaching a pre-closer maybe how to become a closer and to get that promotion and to move up, but also an agent to understand what a closer's doing and the steps to, being able to work out a seller net sheet down to the penny is a great thing that an agent can do that a lot of them right now can't do. But being able to work through the numbers, being able to prorate taxes, being able to really estimate what my seller's bottom line is going to be that's their number one question. How much money am I going to make on this sale? And because I have that experience being a pre-closer and a closer, which some people joining your classes may not have, but it gives them a little insight into how to do those things in order to provide the best service for their clients.
Right. Right. I appreciate you sharing that. You've been a great guest speaker for us and helping us to train some of our students that come through our workshops. I did just want to re-share the good news for Real Estate Closing Path is that we have just been approved by the Georgia Real Estate Commission. 2 of our courses can earn realtors credits, which they're required to have so many credits so often. So specifically our pre-closing prep workshop, and again, these are 3-hour workshops. We offer them monthly for the month of November, especially just to celebrate this new accomplishment. We're offering them for $100 a piece. So not only the pre-closing prep, but also our closing cram session. And again, even if that's not your specific role, as Jennifer has said, just understanding what the other people are doing in the process can give you so much more understanding, and then hopefully benefit to your clients. You're able to explain what's going on, or why is this taking so long, or what's the delay about, or why is this happening, or is this normal? So just to kind of understand what other people are doing to help make that transaction close and to make it a success for all parties involved. And again, we're just excited that our school has been recognized by the GREC, and we'll continue to submit our other workshops as well for approval. Jennifer, just a couple other questions.
Yeah.
How do you balance your family life and career?
Well, that's another hard question. I have 3 children. I have a traveling husband. And I do part-time marketing for Positively Balanced. So I have a lot going on, but I think balancing that, it just kind of works out every day.
Yeah.
Every day is a surprise. But
Gotta be a good juggler.
yeah, I think real estate can be a flexible industry on the sales side, and I love that about it. And honestly, my kids know a lot about real estate. They were drug along in their younger years to lots of things. And thankfully now most of my business is referral based, which means they either know me or they know somebody who knows me. And hopefully people who know me love my children. And if they have to tag along, they're fine with it. Well, and they're old enough now where they don't have to tag along as much. Right. But
do you see any of your kids potentially following in your footsteps? Do you think they'll choose real estate?
I hope so. I hope so. My middle son is very he asks a lot of questions. I don't know that he would be on the sales side, but I could maybe see him on the construction side or the building side, or some type of general contractor maybe. And my daughter's, who knows? Maybe. Who knows?
Time will tell.
She has a fun personality. I could see her doing something with people. Yes. So maybe
so.
Yeah.
Maybe. And I don't know if anyone else in the room has a question for Jennifer. If so, please add it in the chat box. I have one more question. So what characteristics are you looking for in a law firm to handle your closings? Why would you choose one law firm over another?
That's a really good question. I think communication is key to a successful closing. I have one firm that I really enjoy working with. They do primarily all of my closings if we have the opportunity to pick the closing firm, but they are just always on top of it. They always answer the phone. They always respond to my email timely. They're just always readily available. And I think that's very important. A lot of times when an agent calls a closing firm, they need something or an answer right now. So, We don't call them really just to check. I mean, we might call them to check in, but usually there's a reason why we're calling
Legit.
them. And so if
Right.
we have to leave a message and we don't get a call back for 2 days, that's a problem. So
Right.
I think communication is the biggest driving force
Right.
to picking a closing firm that would
That's
work best. Yeah.
a good answer. So yeah, we do train our closers and pre-closers to really be attentive to those communication requests, whether it's a phone call, an email. It's usually urgent. There's so much in the process that's, connected with deadlines that are important that you
Right.
can't miss. So I really appreciate you sharing that as well. We got another question in the chat box. Jennifer, have there been any unique challenges you've had to overcome in your career? Any challenges? And that could be either as a pre-closer, closer, or realtor. Maybe it's
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest challenge for anybody who's been in the industry is just not panicking when our market is slow. Staying the course, finding other ways to fill in the gaps where you might need them to be, but just being able to not panic and continue to, if you need to step up your marketing, if you need to just stay relevant to people, make sure they don't forget you're still in the industry. I mean, this is primarily from the sales side, but
Yeah.
you know, the market, it ebbs and flows so often, and you just have to be able to stay the course.
Yeah.
I think is the biggest challenge.
Yeah. And so kind of what I hear you saying, it's not if it's going to ebb and flow, it's when. And so,
For
and if you can
sure.
just anticipate that and just be
Yes,
ready to ride those waves, then you'll have a lot more, confidence and less freak out.
exactly. And it's
Yeah.
hard. It's easy to freak out.
Yeah, I'm sure. For all of us in any industry.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add or say that would speak to the dynamic between a realtor understanding what's going on in a closing firm?
Not
Anything else?
necessarily. I do think that real estate closing path again is a great tool for agents and people in the real estate industry in any capacity. I think the classes that you're offering are really important things for people to know. We get caught up in a messy title, and when the closer or pre-closer calls us as an agent and tells us that, you know, somebody's passed away and they have 8 children and 4 of them are in jail and 2 died, and, it's just a mess. We kind of have an idea that that's going
Yeah,
to take a long time. Like, we're going to
yeah,
need to extend our closing date because of this. This is going to take some big conversations, just
right,
understanding if they say title issue, what that really means.
right.
So I think that these classes are really great, and I hope a lot of people take advantage of these. And now that you can earn some continuing ed credits is
That's
really
right.
cool. I know. I
Even
love that.
better, even better.
Yeah.
We are so excited about that. And we'll, like I said, currently the pre-closing prep and the closing cram session, those first 2 listed have been approved by the GREC for credits, and we're working on submitting all of them. So we hope maybe by the end of the year, or certainly by 2024, we can have approval for all of these different workshops. And just a reminder that those workshops are offered monthly. Again, the pre-closing and closing are offered at a discount for November only, and you can check our website online. Again, if you are interested in connecting with Jennifer, maybe you have a real estate transaction that you might need some support with, you can reach her on her Atlanta Communities website, which again, you can find those links in our chat box. And I think that's all we're going to share for today. Jennifer, again, just thank you for your time. We appreciate
Yes.
it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye.
We'll see you next month. Bye-bye.